How are you, everyone? Today we complete lesson 3, Piecewise defining function. How do you graph and analyze base functions? This is chapter 16, lesson number 3. How to graph. If I dealing with two functions, this means I dealing with piecewise because I have pieces here, the first piece and second piece. I want to graph this. If I dealing with the first one, I have to look into this inequality. 2x minus 1, and if this is my condition, x less than 0. Less than 0 means anything less than 0, but 0 is not included. So 0, I will start with 0, but I will make it as open circle. You will remember this now. And anything less than 0 will be closed. So 0, this is my starting, and I choose any number less than 0, like negative 1, negative 2, anything. So I take this equation and I replace it with 0 first. If I make it 0, 0 with this number will be negative 1, so 0x, and result my function, my y is negative 1. And the same with this one, but now x bigger than or equal 0 means 0 is included with this function. How to dealing with this one? I have to put 0 again, so 0, so will be 0 and 0. And bigger than 0 mean 1, so 0, and something was bigger than 0 here is 1, so 1 and 1. So with this function, if I put a 0, y will be 0. If I put it 1, y will be 1. So I can estimate now or make my table, or you can make it mentally with 2 points like this. I have to choose now the places. I told you if I put it as 0, it will be 0, negative 1. So 0 and negative 1. I told you here 0 is not included, so I make it open circle like this. The second one, I can choose anything like negative 2 is good. So negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 is positive 4. Minus 2 is negative is now 3. So it's negative 2 and 3. Now I connect, I have an arrow like this. This is the represent for this function. Now I'm going to the other one, 0, 0, 1, 1, so 0, 0, 1, 1, if I put 2 will be 2, 2, and connect it. And here equals mean a0 is included, so I make it closed circle like this. So this my graph. Now I have to check where is my domain. The domain is going from this direction and this direction, so all real numbers with me now. All real number. And also this part, because 0 is me, because 0 here is closed and open, meaning closed, both of them meaning included now. Now I try to complete the other part, the range. The range, I mean everything from y-axis. So the least number here is negative 1 and going to up, right? From this direction, but the smallest one is negative 1. So negative 1 is my starting, but is not included. So will be y will be bigger than negative 1, no equals, because negative 1 here open, not closed. Example 2. Graph g of x, 2x plus 3 if x less than negative 1, and x squared, x bigger than negative 1. So this also piecewise function because two parts, but here it's clear that for you this linear function and this quadratic function because it's second degree, right? I have to start with this number, but it's not included, so negative 1. And you need a smaller, x is smaller than negative 1, so anything less than negative 1 will be good. But choose number, try to be keep away from any decimal as you can, okay? So like any number, okay? So this part, we need to take number bigger than negative 1, but not included also. So this will be open circle and this open circle. So this my solution. I will make now my tables like this. The first one, the first equation, y equals, this is y, 2x plus 3, and I start with negative 1 and less than negative 1. So negative 1 and negative 3 and negative 2. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Replace it here. Negative 1 times 2, negative 2 plus 3 will be here. This answer 1, negative 1, and negative 3. Now going to the second function, but now bigger than negative 1. So my table here, I put my number bigger than negative 1, like negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and replace it will be like this. So negative 1 power 2 is 1, 0 power 2, 0, 1 power 2, 1, and 2 power 2 is 4. Now I represent this will give me this line, and this give me this curve. But remember again, this point will be open. If I want to see where's my domain, if I need to find the domain here, the domain includes the point for x equal negative 1, which plotted as open circle. I put it was open because it's included. I put it as included, but it's not included. Make it as open circle. Okay. Now we're going to. I have to tell you something here. So the sketch is parabolic. You have to remember. We take the graph and try to see which consists of what. The piece function is discontinuous. Why? There is no value for x negative 1. No continuous. I come here and make my curve and stop and start again from the beginning. So to make continuous, I have to make it without any stop. So this is my stop. So this continuous. So this not correct. So this continuous. No value for x negative 1 because I have this. This is not included. So now you can't draw entire function without lifting the pencil. So this is the meaning. I have to complete without stop. The domain here excluding x negative 1. Now another example. Camellia rent a kayak for 4 hours. The rent company charges $30 the first hour and $20 per hour for each additional hours. Write and graph the function. So I have to complete with this. I have to complete for 3 hours. So I have to make it like this as a step function. This is called step function because I have to complete step on another step. So a step function is a piecewise function that has constant value over given interval. Let's make it like this. So I have the time. From the first hour, I have to give the total amount here. The total cost $30. So from 0 to 1, and 1 we have to make it equals because this is my hour. I have 1 hour. Okay, so the first hour I have cost of $30. Now the second, if I make additional hours, so from 1 mean after 1 up to 2, the second hour. So I have to add 20 for 30, so it will be $50. Then I have to make it as another 3 hours. So I make the first hour, the second hour more. I make it from 2 to 3. So now I have another 20, so it will be $70. Now the third hour I will increasing because I rent more 3 here, so from 3 to 4 hours, so we'll add another $20 will be 90. So now I'm ready. This is my y, this is my values of x. So I have to make it like this. So this is my function, this is my values of y, this is my start and end for each one. So the step function always like this form. Can you see that from 0 to 1, 0 open and 1 closed, because equal, not equals, or not included. From 0 to 1, this is the first hour, from 0 to 1. So 0 open, 1 closed, 30 at 30. Now we're going to the second one, from 1 to 2, 1 open and 2 closed, from 1 to 2, but at exactly $50. And the next one was the same way, open, closed, open and closed. We found all my graphing here as lines. So we're dealing with line. This is the first thing. So the step function I'm dealing with piecewise function, and constant mean horizontal like this. And the slope, if you remember, the slope of any horizontal line always 0. The slope always 0. 0, the slope here 0, 0, 0, 0. So this another meaning for step function. So the step function is many lines horizontal, and all the slopes are zeros all the time. Okay, and constant, of course. Okay, because 30 with the two values for 0 to 1 and constant from 1 to 2 and so on. So this graph each step using open circle and closed. Open and closed. Make line segment, always we have line segment. This is a step function. The step function have three parts here. Here constant, line segment, the slope always 0. So remember this, okay? Now we're going to another thing. Graph the greatest integer function. Y equals this symbol, meaning the closest or the approximated to the down integer, like this. Give you an example. The greatest integer function is the special type of step function, but I deal with round of a number down to the nearest integer. Down means the smallest closest, the number which is close but the smallest one. If I give you example 3.7, so the closest to the smallest is 3. So this my nearest integer gap. So this is the greatest integer function. I make it like this for. So the rounding for negative 2.9. Don't tell me negative 2. Negative 2 is not less or down of negative 2. It's more than negative 2. So with negative, I make it negative 3. Because negative 3 here means the smallest for negative 2.9. Because negative 2.9 more than negative 3. So negative 3 is the smaller one. To give you another example with this form, so I will replace, for example, I put this like this. I told you, or maybe I tell you, you have to change it to 1.6. I need the greatest integer, so you have to make it as 1, and 4.7 will be 4, and negative 1.2, the smallest is negative 2, not negative 1. 1.6 will be 1. We have many examples, like from 0 to 1 is 0, the smallest. From 1 to 2, the smallest one, and 2 to 3 to negative 1 to 0 is negative 1, and so on. So this yours. And always your domain is real number or real number. But the important thing here, always your function, meaning that f of x or g of x or y generally, always integer, not real number. Mean maybe positive, maybe negative. It's impossible to be decimal or fraction because we round all the time, so no decimal. So always I dealing with integer, so the range here always integer number, but your domain always real number. Okay, remember this. Now I give you examples. This is page 674, chapter 16. Graph piecewise function, g of x, the first function, second function. So three functions here mean we're dealing with piecewise. So piecewise function here, three parts here. We have here linear function, constant function, and another linear function. So I have to dealing with these numbers. So I start with these numbers always because this related with this function. So 0 here means something for you. You have to start with 0 and close because equals. And you can take just one more. 0, if I put 0 here, it will be 1, so 0, 1. If I put any number like 1, negative 2, anything, I'll bring the y. So I give you here this your function. I make it as y equal negative 2x plus 1 here. I replace it with 0 is my first number I have to dealing with, and any number less like negative 2, negative 1, anything, but try to, I told you to put any number, give you a whole number, and try to keep your answer as whole number as you can. So negative 2 will be positive 4 plus 1 will be 5. So this is the first part. Now again to the second one, this constant. If you put anything with 0 will be 1. If you put it 4 will be also 1 because this constant. There is no x to change this function, but here we have x will change the function. So this will be y with 0, 1. So your points will be 1, 1. I put here 1, 1 and 2, 1. So I replace it with anything with 0 to 4. So we're going now to something else. The third function, I replace it with anything starting from 4 equals 4. So from 4 and anything bigger than 4 like 5, anything. So I make it with 4 and 5. So if I replace it with 4, I'll have 1 with 5 will be negative 1. 5 times negative is negative 10, so will be here this your answer will be negative 1. Okay, I'm dealing with this function, this one function. Now, is g of x a step function? Explain. So we have something here. So no, the pieces are not constant and don't have the same interval along the x-axis. So that is g of x continuous, or this is continuous function. The graph is continuous. You don't have the left your pencil to draw it. So you have to make it like this. You see, if you complete from here, you have to start again from here. There's no open circle here because I have open circle, I have closed, then open, so it will be still closed, and here open, then close will be closed. So it's no open here, so this means continuous. So this, for this reason, is continuous. Find the domain and range. The domain, everything here is your real number, and also your range or real number. Now I have to the y-intercept, or the intercept for g of x, mean the y. The intercept of y, I put this as x as 0. So this, if we put it as 0, or the cut with y-axis at this point as 1 here and 4.5. So this the intercept x and y here. So this is your x-intercept and y-intercept. Y-intercept, x-intercept, both of them. Now analyze this one. This I have another piece function. I have to find the value of b negative 4. The trick here, I have to discover this number here or here. How I know? I have to replace it with this function or this function. To replace negative 4, I have to look into the value of x. This is my domain. So my x here from 0 up to negative 5, from negative 5 up to 0. This number here or here, from 0 to 5 or from negative 5 to 0, I will find negative 4 is between 0 and negative 5. So I will replace it or substitute it in this function. So I have to change this negative 4 will be positive 4, plus 1 will be 5. And here 4 from 0 to negative 5, 0, negative 1, negative 2, this is no 4 here. But the 4 will be here, 0 to 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, up 4, up to 5. So the 4 will be with this function. So I have to replace 4 here. If you make it here, it will be wrong. So 4 minus 2 is 2, power 2 is 4, minus 3 equals 1. So this your function, this your replacing, this your substitution, this your answer, like what I told you from previous sentence. This your answer. Is b of x a step function? Is b of x piecewise function? Explain. Here I have something here. B of x is not a step function because the pieces are not horizontal. The piece or step, the step here, the step function is supposed to be linear or line, but here line and curve. So this not. Okay, for this reason. So this is not a step function because the pieces are not horizontal segment, line segment. It's supposed to be horizontal line segment. If you remember the example, we'll make it together with the 3 or 4 colors. Okay. Now we're going to the same length and the same length already. Okay. And they are not discontinuous. Here, discontinuous. Discontinuous. Why? Because here the b of x is a piece function because it's defined by more than one equation. Yes, this piece function because we have 2 equations here. Okay, so we're going to another thing. Or complete the same example with the same function. Here I need to check from 0 to negative 5 this linear or this quadratic. I told you this clear here, so this linear is correct. And b of x with is quadratic, where if we make it negative 5 to 0 or 0 to 5, yes, from 0 to 5 give you quadratic. Now to complete this table, from negative 3 up to 2. Negative 3 up to 2. So we put it from negative 3, I replace it here in this place, up to 0. So when we have 0, we have to stop. Okay, so negative 3, I will put it here, negative 3, negative 3 is 3 plus 1, here will be 4. Negative, negative, positive 2 plus 1 is 3. Negative, negative, positive 1 plus 1, 2. Now I have to put a 0. If I put a 0 here, will be 1. If I put a 0 here, will be the same answer here, I think. So if you put a 0, this will be 0, negative 3, right? If I put it here, 0 will be 1. So which one I have to dealing with? This one or this one? The 0 is equal. So will be here 1. So I will put it here with 1 here. So 0 here. So it will be 0. Negative 2 power 2 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. If I put a 0 here also, will be this will be 0 and this will be 1. So in the two equation will be 1. 1 here or here? Yes, 1 is here in this function. So I have to replace it here, 1. Then 2, I replace it here also because 2 is between 0 and 5. Write the domain and range. So now we have to complete this. This is my graph. I make all of this. I can make it together. So the domain from here to here, the value of x, from negative 5 up to negative 4, from negative 5 up to 5. So this is your domain. And your range from here up to here. So mean I have to make it y bigger than or equal negative 3, bigger than from the top and bigger than, even because I take most of them. So from negative 3, y bigger than negative 3. This. Estimate the intercept. The intercept, we have two intercepts here. This intercept and this one we can estimate it. We can make it in the graph to be clear. I can make it with calculator, but it's with this part just. So this we can estimate it as 0.3 and 3.3. He told you estimate this mean will be close. Maybe one make it 0.4 is close. Someone maybe make it 3.6 more or less. So this close. Then y-intercept I have to put here x as 0. So I have 1. So this is my y-intercept. Now I have three functions. The three functions are constant with difference number, it doesn't matter, but all of them will give you constant, mean line graph. So if we graph it here, it will be like this, because from negative 3 to 3, negative 3, 1, and 3, 1. Take the start and end. So negative 3, sorry. So negative 3, I started in negative 3, 1, 3, 1, x, y, x, y. So this is negative 3, 1, 3, 1. But here, close, here, open. This is the first one. Here, 3, 4, close, 3, 4, close. And the second one, 5, 4, 5, 4, open and connect. All of them are line segment, right? And all of them are horizontal. So we can discover something. He asked me about something I discovered I know now. What are the value of s negative 1? So I have to search the negative 1 here, here, here. I have to search where is the place for negative 1. The negative 1 is here because between 3 and negative 3. So negative 3 to 3, that's negative 1 will be between them. So I have to replace here the negative, the x is no x. So my constant function give me 1. So the negative 1 here give me 1. This is your y, this is your answer. So this s of negative 1. And the other one was 7. 7 is here. So your answer will be negative 3. Find the domain and range. The domain and range here, that's your domain from negative 3 up to 8. And both of them are closed from here to here, from the start to end. And the range, I told you before with this one, the range here, we're dealing with numbers like here 4 and here 1 and here negative 3, 3 digits. Just line because they're horizontal. Where is s? Where is s of x? Linear, quadratic, or exponential? So this one is piece function is linear. So piece, this piece y's function is linear, always. Describe the slope. I told you the slope always 0. So the slope for every piece here is 0. Now the greatest integer. So the greatest integer line is a line, you remember, a line with all real numbers is your domain, and your number always with the range integers. So what's the type of this function? Write the least three words to describe this function. So first is step this continuous increasing at the same time. You remember that figure if you remember, and find the domain always real number and the least integer. Here I want to find the evaluate the greatest integer. I told you that take the smallest, the round to the smallest, 3, here's 3, here -5, here will be 0. So this is your function, which is not true for step function. Step function has discontinuous graph, yes, but has undefined slope. No, I told you from few seconds this is supposed to be 0, not undefined. The constant horizontal, always horizontal, and lines equal length, yes. So the three information is correct, but this supposed to be equal 0, the slope equals 0. Thank you for watching, and please try to make your homework in the same time you watch the video. Make your homework and send it to me. Your page is 165, lesson 3. Bye bye.